Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about the Royal Rumble, which took place last night in St. Louis, Missouri. So if you have any thoughts on the Royal Rumble because you've already seen it, please feel free to let me know what was the best match, what was the worst match of the night. If you have any thoughts or opinions, please feel free to let me know. And since the show was in St. Louis, Missouri, and St. Louis, Missouri is the home of the best wrestler of all time, Randy Orton, I figured what better time to wear my Randy Orton shirt than right now when we're going to be discussing the Royal Rumble, which takes place in Randy Orton's hometown. So hopefully everybody enjoys seeing my Randy Orton shirt. I've probably had this shirt for probably over 10 years, and this is the first time I wore it in a video because, like I said, Randy Orton is the best wrestler of all time, and Royal Rumble was in St. Louis last night. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Royal Rumble. The show opened with Seth Rollins defeating Roman Reigns by disqualification, so Roman Reigns is still the Universal Champion. And then the second match of the night was the Women's Royal Rumble match. I'm not going to sit here and waste your time and go 1 through 30 with who came out in what order, but I will say that if you follow WWE, you know they have way more men's wrestlers than they do women's wrestlers. So when they have the Women's Royal Rumble, they have to bring back a lot of the, former wrestlers they had because they don't have 30 women. So I am going to tell you all the women that were in the Royal Rumble match last night. Some of these names, if not all these names, you'll recognize. We had Molina, who was in WWE years ago. She is now part of NWA, but she was in the Royal Rumble last night along with Kelly, who has the name so nice, you got to say it twice. And then we had The Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool, make an appearance. And then we had Cameron. Now, if you don't remember who Cameron is, years ago they had Brodus Clay in WWE, and he had these two women. They were called the Funkadactyls, and one was Naomi, who is still there, and the other one was Cameron. And then we had Sonia Deville, who is still part of WWE, but you recall she lost a retirement match a couple of years ago, and she was gone for a while, and she's back now, but she's basically been pretty much signing matches on SmackDown the last few months without wrestling. So we'll have to wait and find out if that was a one-time thing or if she's back as a full-time wrestler. And then we had Ivory, who was there many years ago with many different gimmicks. Last night she was part of her Right to Censor gimmick. And then we had Alicia Fox, who has not been seen on TV in a long time. And then we had Mickie James, who I mentioned on Tuesday in my Royal Rumble preview show. She is now part of Impact, and she also makes appearances in NWA with her husband, Nick Aldis. And then we had Lita, Molly Holly, and of course, the Bella Twins, and the return of Ronda Rousey, who won the Women's Royal Rumble match. And then we had Becky Lynch beating Doudrop to retain the Raw Women's title. And then we had Bobby Lashley beating Brock Lesnar to become the new WWE Champion. And then we had Edge and Beth Phoenix beating The Miz and Maurice in an intergender mixed tag team match. And then the main event, of course, was the Men's Royal Rumble. And I know a lot of people are going to say that it was predictable, but the people that tell you that are lying, because you can say it was predictable in a sense because, they didn't go out there and take some nobody, some scrub, and have them win the Rumble. So it was a big-time superstar. But the only two wrestlers, really, that were in the Men's Royal Rumble that are not full-time wrestlers, because they have way more men's wrestlers than women's wrestlers, were Shane McMahon and Johnny Knoxville. Those are really the only two names worth mentioning, because the other 28 guys are part of the full-time roster. But Brock Lesnar won the Rumble since he lost the title to Bobby Lashley earlier in the night. He was number 30 in the Rumble, and he won. So, in a sense, you can say it was predictable, because, like I said, it wasn't some scrub that won. It was a big-name guy. But everybody thought Brock Lesnar was just going to beat Bobby Lashley and retain the title. So if that would have happened, then Brock Lesnar couldn't have been in the Royal Rumble. So nobody expected Brock Lesnar to win the Royal Rumble, because everybody expected him to beat Lashley and still be WWE Champion. So if people tell you it was predictable, they're just trying to find something to complain about, because it wasn't. So hopefully this leads to another match between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley somewhere down the road. Like I said, any thoughts on it, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. How do you fix a cracked pumpkin? A pumpkin patch. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.